Hello, my name is Stephen Lundy, and this is my global HRM overview presentation. And the company that I selected for this is Adobe. So, like I said earlier, Adobe is the company that I chose. What they do specifically is tech software, and so they have a range of products such as Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere Pro, which allows users who purchase to improve their creative capabilities in everything that they do, as well as a wide variety of marketing technology that they sell to other companies. The target country that I chose to expand into is Japan, and this presentation will go over the four HRM factors within international markets. I'll also be going over the expatriate selection, training, and compensation as well. And then we'll close out with some conclusions and key points at the end. As previously mentioned, Adobe is a global software company that specializes in digital media and digital marketing products. On the digital media side, that's where you'll find products like previously mentioned Photoshop, which allows you to tailor your photos and videos, customize them, and create whatever you may please, as well as Premiere Pro or Lightroom, which are other editing softwares for the common user within video and photo. On the digital marketing side, that's where they sell very business to business based marketing products, such as one of their tools, Marketo, which allows businesses to gain a further insight into their customer journey and see which products of theirs the customer leans more into and which ones they should stray away from. Adobe operates in a highly collaborative and innovation driven environment, as well as a huge emphasis and strong culture of employee development and flexibility. Adobe's continued international growth strategy would support expansion into Japan because Japan represents a strategic market due to high digital tool adoption within the country and within the citizens. Japan has a highly developed technological economy. You can see it on the outside with their emphasis on creativity and even robotics over on that side of the world. The workforce in Japan is known for discipline, structure, and a strong technical competency, all of which should be expected of employees over in companies that are based in Japan. Collectivist values strongly influence the workplace expectations and communications in Japan as well. And the political environment is very stable, with some strong labor laws overseeing all the companies and businesses there. A high digital demand supports Adobe's product offerings to Japan because of their emphasis in technology and creativity. It would make for a suitable companionship with Adobe offering products stronger over there. When going over Hofstede's cultural dimensions impact, as previously mentioned, you can see that Japan scores very high on collectivism. This just means that teamwork and group harmony are very prioritized over in Japan. So it's less of the American style of solo success or doing it on your own, but more as doing it as a group is a key priority for them. With high uncertainty avoidance, this just requires clear processes and structured expectations. So in any job in Japan, there is a clear goal and a clear set of guidelines on how to achieve that goal. Japan has a high respect for hierarchy as well, and this influences how decisions are made and communicated. So there's a lot of respect towards upper management and workers of that nature. But with that as well, managers must adapt to indirect communication and formal interactions, especially because Japan has a high regard for formality in all settings, especially in business. And with that, the HR must support leadership adaptation to local norms and things that are not as normal over here in America. You would have to adapt to what would be normal in Japan. Going over education and human capital, Japan's workforce is a highly educated group of individuals with strong technical and digital skills. So this goes back to Japan's emphasis on technology as a whole, which in turn flows into the education as well, and then with that becomes a workforce skill. Lifelong learning and improvement are deeply rooted within Japanese culture as well. The Japanese word for that being kaizen, but essentially the Japanese are always striving for improvement, always striving for more learning and to overall better themselves. Employees value structured formal training programs in Japan as well, and this goes back to that high uncertainty avoidance where employees thrive under a set line of goals that allow them to achieve a main overarching goal. Adobe can leverage the local digital literacy to support product adoption, and so with Japan being a highly technical and technology emphasized country, and Adobe being entirely a tech software company, there could be a lot of room for implementation and adoption. And then the HR should integrate local skill strengths into team development plans to further this collaboration. Going over the economic and political legal systems in Japan, Japan's economy provides a very stable environment for tech expansion. They have a very safe and stable economy in Japan, which would not cause much trouble with an expansion into that company or any fear with that. There are strict labor laws that regulate working hours, contracts, and benefits over in Japan. And so with that, Adobe would have to comply with these Japanese employment protections and regulations as to make sure to smoothly transition and move into this territory. HR policies would also have to be tailored to match local expectations for job security, and then governance practices would require careful alignment with Japanese standards so as not to disrupt or disregard Japanese culture or Japanese law over there, and making sure that we're staying within the lines if we plan to move into this territory. When selecting the expatriate managers, there are several key characteristics and things that we would have to look out for and make sure we're in order before choosing. First, and probably most importantly, would be selecting managers who demonstrate strong cultural adaptability. We wouldn't want to send anybody into a merger with Japan who is not able to adapt to their culture and embrace their culture as well. International experience would be preferred due to the complexity of the Japanese market, but I wouldn't say that it was required. Managers chosen would have to have clear communication skills and patience with hierarchy, as hierarchy is a very important aspect of Japanese culture, and somebody who would not regard that would not be a good manager for this company to merge with Japan. Leadership style would also have to prioritize relationship building and respect. As previously mentioned, Japan has a very strong focus on teamwork and group harmony as compared to the American solo success idea. And so somebody who is not able to confine to that or embrace that as well would not be a good manager for this decision. And just the overall ability to collaborate with local teams would be essential for expanding into Japan. So within the training and development of these managers, there would be several steps that would have to be taken regardless of the qualities they already present. We would have to provide cultural training focused on Japanese norms and business etiquette. The way that business runs and the things that are considered normal over in Japan would not be considered normal in a business in America. And so just culturally training those individuals to know what to prepare for, know what to do and what not to do, as well as just holding an overall respect for the company. We would include instruction in indirect communication and decision-making practices, as well as offering job-specific technical training aligned with Adobe's tools. So, for example, if we were going to expand within Japan, we would want to have certain things like on-hand demos ready, product information videos and things of that nature to assign a smooth transition into the expansion of Japan. We would also be assigning mentors who can support adaptation and ongoing development. So with the team that is working towards the on-hand demos and things of that nature, we would also have a team for development and continued flow of the products into Japan. And then the plan for repatriation early to support long-term retention and make sure that there is no early pullout of the company. So when going over the compensation and benefits, the compensation must align with Japanese market standards to remain competitive. We would provide housing or relocation support for the expatriate managers to make sure that they're not struggling for finding out where to stay or things of that nature. as well as including educational support for expatriate managers' families if required. And then as well as compliance with Japanese health insurance and pension programs. We would ensure that going to Japan would allow them to also have insurance on all ends with health, vision, dental, and things of that nature. And as well as considering assignment bonuses to support retention. So any manager that is succeeding highly, or if we have set quotas or goals for them to reach, if they hit those, we can assign bonuses as well. Closing out here, just going over some more key points and final closing statements. For successful entry into Japan, it would require cultural alignment and HR adaptability. So with those expatriate managers, there would be an emphasis in structured training and careful expatriate selection to ensure that the people that we are choosing to go overseas are confident and have that skill set readily prepared, as well as training them in some of the things that they may not be as familiar in. And then just reinforcing the importance of compensation and benefits. It's important for these expatriate managers who are going overseas to still receive compensation from the company and benefits for the work that they are doing. And with Adobe's collaborative and innovative culture, this would support global expansion into other neighboring nations as well if we can get our foot in the door in Japan as well. And then in summary, HR plays such a core role in ensuring long-term international success. And so just making sure that with all the expatriate managers and everyone working together for this expansion into Japan to succeed, HR has to be at the forefront of that and ensuring that everyone is following the nation's laws, business etiquette, and all things regarding that. Awesome. Thank you so much. Here are my references. I use the Hofstede Insights country comparison with Japan, the Japan Economic Overview with the World Bank, and then the Adobe website company information. Thank you.